o'clock. It's time to get started. On behalf of the three C's, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus, we welcome you to this historic event, the first ever virtual three-county annual meeting. And it's apropos that the three largest SWCDs in the state of Ohio are banding together on this week, which is Stormwater Awareness Week. Pleased to be here, thanks to our partners. And at this time, I'm going to introduce Bob Short, the president of the Ohio Federation of Soil and Water Conservation Districts. Bob is a supervisor at Williams Soil and Water Conservation District. He is also an active farmer. Bob is also a trustee for his community and a community firefighter. It's a privilege to have you here, Bob, to help us celebrate this unique event and our year of putting conservation on the ground.
Thank you, Jan. And welcome everyone. To say that this year was unique is a total understatement, a bit of an understatement, and it has found us doing things a whole lot differently than we have done before. But one thing we found out is that the soil and water districts throughout the state are committed to serving our constituents. And in many places we found that our doors were locked, and this is a really new and sometimes uncomfortable feeling for a lot of people. I know myself, for those that know me, I'm a meeting guy, and I like getting everybody around a table and communicating face to face. And I'm used to being on the road quite a bit, getting around the state, visiting with everyone. And as of March of this year, that just absolutely stopped. And I'll tell you what, there wasn't anybody in the state that was more uncomfortable than I was, because used to being out and among the people and having to find other ways to communicate, it can be a challenge. And we found ourselves Zooming more. A lot of people thought that used to think that Zooming was being late for a meeting. I know that's how I looked at it, and yeah, that's what you had to do to get there. But I want to compliment our friends at Cuyahoga, Franklin, and Hamilton Soil and Water Conservation Districts for putting together this joint annual meeting. It shows us that we can connect people from across the state and from long distances, and get together and accomplish what we set out to do and communicate with each other. But you know, across the summer, we've learned social distancing and best practices. But we've pitched tents, we've reworked picnic tables, we've created entries, hosted annual drive-through meetings, and found new and innovative ways to conduct voting, but all to find a way to stay connected. And I think that's a key element for the soil and water districts across the state is we do like to stay connected, and that's what makes us great. So, but it shows the passion for the soil and water districts, and they really care about their work, and they care about their constituents, and all of the efforts that have been made through this pandemic have been really widely noticed. And on behalf of the Ohio Federation of Soil and Water Conservation Districts, I want to let everybody know that we seriously appreciate all the efforts that have been made to continue on with the work that we have to do. So, but that being said, we sincerely hope that next year will allow us to connect in person and get back to more of a sense of normalcy and get back to the way we did operate. But Our winter meetings, maybe to bring everybody a little up to speed, our winter meetings will be hosted as Zoom meetings. Tentatively, the plan is to host 2 statewide updates with our partner groups. We also plan to have sessions for ag interest updates and an urban interest updates. We're also working with Ohio State to provide 2 sessions for the Tom Spellmeyer Leadership Academy. And plans for this event will be forthcoming. And some areas are hosting area meetings via Zoom, and we're working with them to get it set up with agendas. It won't be the same as meeting in person, but hopefully it'll give us an opportunity to at least see some friendly faces. So the annual partnership meeting, we're still working on plans for that event. So stay tuned. We haven't given up on it completely, but we're also waiting on official word from the NACD as far as what the plans are for that annual meeting in New Orleans. So we hope that we'll be able to get together in person before that, but if not, we sincerely hope to see you next summer at the Summer Supervisor School in beautiful Holmes County. So we have challenges, new challenges that we face, and but the soil and water districts are resilient, and there's a lot of work to do. And I applaud all of the efforts that are being made by the districts to accomplish the work that we need to do. And I wish you well, and I hope that we have a good meeting here tonight, and we can at least maybe stay connected in one way or another. So thanks for joining us, and everyone have a great meeting. Have a great evening.
Thanks again, Bob. Really appreciated your great comments. Again, I'm Janine Ripka. I'm the director of the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District. We are, oops, got to remember to share the screen, sorry. You have to expect some snafus here, okay. All right, so we're 71 years strong. We were founded on education and landowner assistance, and we work stronger and harder through local, regional, and national collaborations, not unlike our collaborations this evening. And we're supported by a strong board and enabled by a committed and professional staff. Cuyahoga County has 1.2 million residents in 59 distinct communities. We work throughout the county, but we have special memorandums of understanding with 52 of those 59 communities. And we prepare and present annual comprehensive programs for public involvement, public education, and stormwater pollution prevention. Our Cuyahoga County Soil and Water Conservation District staff is 14 professional staff strong, and they have worked really hard this year to implement programs in what has been a topsy-turvy type of year. By the end of March, the staff had totally pivoted and went from in-person programs to programs online, and they have all been successful. Now I want to take you through a little bit of our staff and the highlights of our program. Like all soil and waters, we do the typical education, but I wanted to highlight some of the special programs we did this year. First, I'd like to introduce my partner in crime. We're behind the scenes, Teresa and myself, holding down the fort. We miss everyone, but we're happy when you come in, and we wish you could come back real soon. Our stormwater and conservation stormwater education program and our watershed protection program is led by Senior Program Manager Jared Bartley, with assistance from Amy Roskilly, Jackie Siebenberger, and Colleen Berg. What started out as a normal year with in-person programs such as our Native Urban Tree Starters program that attracted 10 schools and 1,000 kids to learn about trees and tree planting and tree giveaways, had to move over to in-stream and move over to social distancing and special hygiene practiced events. Our conservation education program did go virtual in a lot of respects. The Master Rain Gardener program has been a true success with 62 participants and 61 rain gardens have been planted since its inception last fall. The interesting thing about this program is it's a collaborative effort with the Northeast Ohio Soil and Water Conservation Districts and a lot of our watershed partners. Did you know that April was Native Plant Month in Ohio? Well, this year we did something really sweet, and that was every day of the month on our Facebook page and Instagram, we highlighted a beautiful native plant for that day. Where would we be without pollinators? That was the theme of this year's poster contest. It was virtual, but we had participants, and we were glad to send those winners down to the state. Our stormwater pledges for litter prevention and salt reduction are going strong. People can tap into it online, just like they can tap into more than 7 webinars and YouTube videos. One of those videos is how to build a rain garden. So after 15 years of holding rain barrel workshops, we had to convert to drive-in workshops. So participants registered, they came to pick up their rain barrel, and they could watch one of our pre-made videos in advance. And last but not least, special storm drain stenciling converted over to creativity and painting the ground to present the message that all streams in Cuyahoga County drain to Lake Erie. Lake Erie does start in our backyards, and it's important to get that message out. Our watershed protection program includes Jared, Elizabeth, Meg, and Nicole Davis, who is our AmeriCorps team member. Our watershed programs focus on Euclid Creek watershed, the Rocky River watershed, and the Cahoon Porter Creek watersheds. The program includes a public involvement in public education because education is the thread that binds us. But it also, the watershed staff works hard to find grant monies to do all kinds of projects on the ground, such as stream restoration, habitat restoration, or a project like you see on the left that is going to restore flood storage at the Mayfield Country Club. Our staff has also done innovative programs like floating wetland plants, and of course, training volunteers how to stream monitor is really important as well. In September, the Ohio EPA and the Ohio Lake Erie Commission named the Cuyahoga SWCD as the facilitating organization for the Cuyahoga AOC. And for the next few years, we will be working to help get all the remaining BUIs, beneficial use impairments, delisted from the Cuyahoga River. Our stormwater program is headed up by Brent Eisenbach, the senior manager, with Carla, Kelly, Megan, Chris, and Jacob helping out. We work for 21 cities, and every month we're inspecting about 200 sites. About 20 plan reviews come through our office every month as well. Once our construction sites transition over to completion, the staff works with Carla to inspect those sites on an annual basis to ensure that they're working properly. Again, education is key, and so is maintenance of those structures. Our natural resources and urban agriculture program consists of not only planting, but also soil restoration and promoting native plants. We hold 280 acres in conservation easements, and those are monitored on an annual basis. Our soil restoration is really important. You can see how degraded our soils are. So trying to work to maintain that soil and restore it is really, really important. One thing that we like to promote is how to plant trees properly. We like to say, let the flare see air. And that's really important, not to bury those tree trunks in mulch. And finally, the Cuyahoga Healthy Tree Urban Tree Initiative. We're proud to be a partner with Cuyahoga County and a couple other agencies on that effort. Lastly, I'd like to say that at Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation, we're growing Cuyahoga, we're growing it green, whether it's on land, planting trees to restore our healthy tree canopy, or by sowing the seeds for soil health. or even planting plants and growing them in wetland areas so that we can transplant those plants to other project areas. Cuyahoga staff and board members are nuts about conservation. I want to thank everyone who's on this webinar today, and our Cuyahoga County, our communities within the county that support us, the Division of Soil and Water Conservation District, all of our funders, our partners, and the people we serve, but especially Hamilton and Franklin counties. It was so fun to do this. And with that, we're going to show our video, and that'll take you into Franklin's presentation.
Formed in 1949 as the county's original environmental agency, the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District has a focus on protecting our natural resources, from land to river to lake and everything in between. We work daily with residents and businesses to implement best practices for the protection and restoration of our soil and water resources, such as stormwater runoff, education, native plants and rain gardens, urban farming, watershed restoration, and overall management. Our passion for the environment and our Great Lake Erie is expressed through the quality and efforts of our work throughout Cuyahoga County.
I'm Jennifer Fish, the director at Franklin Saltwater Conservation District. Franklin Saltwater is the hub of natural resources in Franklin County. We provide assistance to landowners, local governments, school kids, teachers, and residents throughout Franklin County to get more conservation on the ground. This ranges all the way from providing school programs in schools, taking residents or students out into streams to look for macroinvertebrates or do water quality testing. It also involves sending staff out every day into the field to do natural resource mapping of our streams and also looking for pollution points throughout Franklin County and working with the local health department and the local communities to address those pollution points. We also work closely with communities and developers on new development and existing development to make sure that we conserve as much natural resources as we can during the development stage, and we protect the water quality and reduce the stormwater flows into our streams after development. We have a very robust public outreach and education program. Our goal is to provide the public with as many resources, incentives, and support so that they can put more conservation on the ground. So this ranges all the way from our Community Backyards program, which is our biggest program, where we provide workshops, online courses, and quizzes that residents can take. And with participating communities, once they participate, they can get a $50 voucher that they can purchase a native plant, compost bin, or a rain barrel with. We also have programs encouraging residents to pick up poop after their dogs, because this is a significant source of E. coli in our streams. And we have other programs, including giving landowners the options or ideas on how they can better take care of their lawn for stormwater protection. We always work to meet residents and communities where they are at. So what land use they prefer, we will work with them to make it better. We believe strongly in investing in natural resources in Franklin County. The population is only going to expand more and more in Franklin County as more people move into the area because of our strong economy. Additionally, climate change is only going to make our climate patterns more erratic and our stormwater events more flashy, with more water flowing into our stormwater systems, into our streams, and into our yards. So now it's time that we really need to increase the public awareness and public action on natural resource conservation throughout Franklin County. This is also the time to get more conservation on the ground. Wherever we can soak in the water and let it soak through our soils, into our groundwater systems, instead of straight into our streams, that is what we're looking for. This also helps water quality because fewer pollutants get directly into our streams, and it also helps stream erosion and flooding downstream. We need to invest more in natural resource conservation throughout Franklin County and throughout the state of Ohio. With growing populations, climate change, declining pollinator populations, declining bird populations, we're already seeing the strain of human populations on our environment. We all want to leave a strong natural heritage for future generations, and we all can do our part, regardless of where we live, for conservation. Please contact your local Saltwater Conservation District if you need more assistance. Things that you can consider doing are planting more native plants on your land, planting more trees on your land, installing a rain garden, installing a rain barrel. If you have a larger property, maybe a wetlands or a prairie. If you live along a stream bank, planting a stream bank buffer to provide more resources to that stream and protect it from erosion. No matter where you live in Ohio, you can do something for conservation for our future generations.
I'm Jennifer Fish, Director of Franklin Saltwater. Welcome to Franklin County, where we sit at the confluence of the Olentangy Scioto rivers, as well as Allen Creek and Big Walnut Creeks. We have 18 metro parks, 13 million residents are home, and the Ohio State University calls Franklin County their home. While 2020 has certainly been an unusual year, Franklin Soil and Water has been creative and resourceful in how we continue conservation during a global pandemic. In February, we anticipated the need for staff to work at home, and we were able to have all computer resources reallocated and more laptops purchased. When the first stay-at-home order was issued, we were ready to be fully operational. Franklin Soil and Water staff has always been adaptable, resourceful, and committed to conservation. For school programs, we provided weekly activity guides with corresponding videos and coloring pages on different topics each week during the stay-at-home order. We successfully provided engaging virtual resources for parents and teachers to engage young minds. We continued all of our events and trainings virtually, including our Central Ohio Roundtables, our Hell Branch Meadows, and we did an event in the city of Whitehall virtually in the stream for residents to see. Most impressively, we have increased our funding and support to our Community Backyards program to accommodate a 30% increase in participation due to everybody staying at home. 2020 turned out to be a great year to engage homeowners with conservation practices. We continue to strive to reach out to residents and landowners wherever we can, whether that be through local nurseries and businesses, paid advertising, catchy graphics, or messaging on social media. We cannot yet provide the full outreach numbers for 2020, but in 2019, we did provide 5,132 residents, landowners, and partners with site-specific natural resource assistance, as well as 17,213 students with educational programming. We also completed 7,411 features, mapping, and inspections of pipes, catch basins, open channels to detect possible pollution sources, and conducted 823 inspections completed on 65 construction sites. In 2020, our assistance numbers will be close to our 2019 numbers. With board leadership, staff expertise, and partner input, we have updated our strategic plan through 2023. This, combined with the dedicated, seasoned, and experienced conservation staff, allows us to accomplish a great deal towards moving conservation forward. Our strategic plan is focused on continuing to build resources and support to get more conservation on the ground. This includes strategies to build funding, partnerships, visibility, awareness, and programs with local, regional, and statewide support. For example, we're expanding our efforts with stormwater pond maintenance with communities. Many of these ponds are reaching their end of life, and as they do, they become less effective, and they may start to transport nutrient pollution. Assessing how to deal with this aging and outdated infrastructure is challenging and expensive. Through our efforts, we are looking ways to reduce these challenges and these expenses for our partner communities. We're also continuing to expand water quality monitoring efforts with partners such as the City of Dublin with monitoring in Indian Run, and supporting Morpsey in developing a regional water quality monitoring effort for the Sustaining Scioto Collaborative. We are working to expand headwater stream restoration through continued monitoring of innovative stream insert installations in Reynoldsburg, Jefferson Township, and Columbus. We held trainings for this practice for interested professionals and are putting together specifications so others can benefit from what we have learned. Finally, with board leadership, we've established the Conservation Stewardship Fund with the Columbus Foundation. This year, we were able to raise enough money to get the fund established and participate in the Columbus Foundation's Big Give. We hope to raise at least $20,000 a year annually to build this fund to support conservation projects such as these. Franklin Soil and Water would not be able to do what we do without partners. We depend on partners for funding, support, encouragement, ideas, guidance, and feedback. We owe a huge thank you to all of our funding partners with Franklin County Board, starting with the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, who provide us a consistent and solid funding base to allow us to be available to all Franklin County residents, as well as explore new ideas and opportunities to get more conservation on the ground. Additionally, the City of Columbus has been a strong partner, collaborator, and supporter of our conservation outreach programs, allowing us to reach over 2,000 city residents and 5,000 students annually. Their consistent support has allowed us to build targeted programs in support from suburban municipalities, allows us to layer funding on top of this so that we can develop comprehensive and innovative programming such as community backyards. We also strive to provide individualized support to partner communities for stormwater management and natural resource conservation, and greatly appreciate the support and partnership from 12 cities, 2 villages, and 17 townships. And thank you to all of our state and regional partners. These partnerships help us make our existing resources go even further. I am very proud to be part of an incredible network of leaders, staff, and partners to make Franklin County in Central Ohio a place we all want to be proud to call home. Now, I would like to welcome one of our great partners and collaborators, Hamilton Soil and Water Conservation District.
My name is Olivia.
Hey, this is Adam.
Hi guys, I'm Education Specialist Gwen Roth.
Hi, my name is Sarah Faring with
We are
Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
If you work, live, or play here in Hamilton County, you've probably met one of our amazing team members. The things that we do range so much in complexity. We may work with a small group of scouts with their storm drain labeling program, or we may work with a large school district in their STEM education. We review plans ranging from small decks and fences on individual lots to large million-dollar commercial developments that bring jobs and economic development to Hamilton County. Whether it be a library program, soil testing, water quality monitoring, or a large cutting-edge stream restoration program, we put Hamilton County residents and their conservation needs first. The goal of this video is to highlight some of that great work that we've done in Hamilton County in the year 2019 and 2020. Enjoy.
The first project that we'd like to highlight is the Cooper Creek Collaborative, a collaboration of local public agencies and nonprofits working on a 1-mile demonstration watershed. The goal of the collaborative is to address urban hydrologic alteration, which is the greatest issue facing urban watersheds. Urban hydrologic alteration is caused by the increasing amounts of impervious surfaces within our watershed. One of the major issues caused by the phenomena is increased erosive flows.
Erosive flows constitute a significant disturbance event to the in-stream wildlife, but it also causes excessive stream bank erosion, sediment pollution, and it destroys habitat. And as you can see, this is a major problem in this stream right here.
A consistent availability of water is essential for the survival of the wildlife within a stream. Urban hydrologic alteration impacts the base flow of streams.
And this is a particularly significant problem for smaller creeks like this one that go completely dry between rain events. And when a creek goes completely dry between rain events, that constitutes a complete loss of aquatic habitat.
Yet another innovative program spearheaded by the district is the life staking event.
Stream bank destabilization is a major problem in urban areas due to urban hydrologic alteration, but also in rural areas and really everywhere due to clearing trees and shrubs right up to the stream's edge and straightening channels for development and agricultural use. And it's also a major driver of sediment pollution and habitat destruction.
In 2019 and 2020, the volunteers harvested and installed over 3,000 live stakes, which will mature and provide stream bank stability and other ecosystem services to miles of streams within Hamilton County. Our earthwork team is tasked with the mammoth job of administering the earthwork permit in Hamilton County.
The district administers the earthwork regulations for the Hamilton County Commissioners since 1993. It's got twofold objectives. The first one is the erosion and sediment control, and the second one is the hillside and slope stability.
Plan reviewers pour over hundreds of plans ranging from simple decks to large multi-phase subdivisions.
Staff conducts two types of plan reviews to ensure compliance with the Hamilton County earthwork regulations. During an erosion and sediment control review, we look for information about the practices that will be implemented throughout construction to manage stormwater, prevent erosion, and control sediment. Plans are also reviewed for compliance with the geotechnical requirements to ensure that hillside and slope stability is not impacted by construction.
In addition to reviewing plans, the staff also regularly inspect the sites during various stages of development to keep it in compliance with regulations. 3,949 inspections were conducted in 2019 alone.
When arriving on a site to perform an inspection, I am making sure that all of the proper sediment erosion controls are installed around the site. These are usually installed around the perimeter of the site to make sure that no sediment or sediment-laden water is running off into streams, creeks, or other people's properties.
The earthwork staff don't limit themselves to construction sites. They provide landowner consultations and are also actively involved in agriculture and forestry-related land management. The district is also tasked with the job of administering the Agriculture Pollution Abatement Program.
Anytime we receive a complaint, we are there within 24 hours to investigate. Investigation will be to see if there is any issues that need to be addressed, and we work with the landowners to solve anything that might be problematic.
One of the most crucial functions of the district is education. The district has many unique and innovative programs to further the conservation message in Hamilton County. One such program is Caring for Our Watersheds.
So the district also runs the Caring for Our Watersheds Ohio contest, and Caring for Our Watersheds is a high school competition where 9th through 12th grade students actually identify a problem they see in their neighborhood and come up with a solution to it. They'll write a proposal about that solution, turn in the proposal to us, and we'll have a group of judges review those proposals. The judges will come up with the 10 best proposals. And those 10, we will match up with a mentor and we'll give them up to $1,000 to go implement their idea. In 2019, we actually took the Caring for Our Watersheds contest and expanded it to the entire state of Ohio. We had over 135 entries and almost 300 students propose great ideas about what they could do in their local community to help their watersheds.
The district also provides education programs that are traditional to SWCDs.
The district has a robust education program, and we offer free programs to classrooms, libraries, summer camps, even scout groups. We also do teacher workshops.
The 2020 pandemic drastically changed the nature of education in classrooms.
So we've set up with teachers where we can actually Zoom or Skype or do a Google Meet into their classroom, and we can do a demonstration or a Q&A with the kids so they can learn about some of the conservation issues. We've also developed a website with all kinds of virtual activities, lesson plans, things they can do at home, videos that the students can have, and teachers can directly download that to their Google Classroom or Schoology account, and then they can assign it to their kids right away. So we're still getting that conservation message out to students in Hamilton County.
The innovation continues into our administrative functions as we bring a 75-year-old organization into the 21st century.
We have scanned all of our meeting minutes all the way back to 1945. The earthwork staff is working to convert their historic records.
This begins with a massive digitalization of records.
I am so glad that we were able to show you some of the great things we've done in the past year. We're so excited for all the wonderful projects that we've lined up for the future. We hope to see you in the community soon.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all here this evening. I'd rather be with you in person, but I think this is the best for now that we can do. And I'm so thrilled to be the last presenter today, having to follow two fantastic districts and their fantastic work that they've done in the year. I'm going to load up my slides here. Just bear with me just for a second. and then we will jump into my report here. But I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. And I hope you've learned something about a soil and water conservation district. And if you're familiar with soil and water conservation districts within your region, I hope you were able to learn a little about another region and what they do in their soil and water conservation district. Again, thank you all for being here this evening. First of all, before I do anything, I have to thank our amazing board of directors, board of supervisors. We have a extremely diverse group in our board, and they are fantastic, and we're so thankful for them because they're so involved with our program. They love conservation. Their heart is in conservation, and you can tell that during our meetings, during pretty much any process. We have so much buy-in from our Board of Supervisors. So before I go any further, I want to kind of thank our Board of Supervisors. I also want to thank our able staff. You know, this is just an amazing team. And we are so glad that we are here. We're able to function and we're able to deliver quality conservation to Hamilton County residents and also partner with great organizations like Franklin and Cuyahoga as well. So let's jump in a little bit to the programs. So I'm going to cover a little bit of 2019 and 2020 because ultimately it's just been an extremely odd year for all of us. I'm sure we're all dealing with the effects of the pandemic and everything that has thrown on us. And our education staff had to deal with this. One of the first programs to get canceled was our Caring for Our Watersheds program, which is an international competition, and Gwen Roth from our office here takes care of it at the state level. So all of the Ohio programs are managed out of here. And Gwen had to quickly pivot because the finals for this 2020 contest was in April. And Gwen was amazingly able to pivot the entire competition to an online process and was able to even publish the works of the students in a local newsletter and just get them the kind of notoriety that they deserve. But great job on that, Gwen. Also want to recognize Gwen's work, as we mentioned in the video, on the collaborative website that Gwen has created with our neighbors, the Butler County, Warren County, and Clermont County Soil and Water Conservation Districts. Another great way to adapt to the crazy pandemic that we're all having to deal with. I'd like to switch back a little bit to 2019 and kind of highlight some of the work that our former director, Holly Utrata-Halcomb had done in 2019. Holly, being the good leader that she was able to secure the NACD grant for a school program where she was able to bring farmers and families together. It was called the Farm to Family program, where local farmers were able to give produce to families that were in need of good nutrition. And we partnered with Hamilton County's OSU extension as well, and we're able to actually provide lessons on how to cook up the produce as well. So which was very, very beneficial for the folks who partnered in there. Also, we still participate in the Regional Stormwater Collaborative, which is a regional effort in Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky. We continue to do the Rain Barrier Art Project with the Cincinnati Zoo, and we also have the sediment erosion field day that we do annually. Of course, this year we had to cancel it because of social distancing, but we hope to be back next year with our sediment erosion control field day. At this time, I want to also highlight the number of inspections as well as the number of reviews that our earthwork staff do. If you look at that, that is a insane number. And you probably look at that number and think we've got maybe 3 or 4 planned reviewers. In fact, we have 1.5 planned reviewers because James Gleason not only reviews plans, he also does inspections. So between Che Alberto and James Gleason, they're able to do over 2,000 planned reviews in a year. That is just simply amazing. And that is another testament to what an amazing team we've got here in Hamilton County. I also want to kind of highlight our change to our Stormwater District newsletter. We've made it a little more robust, covering a lot more material. So we'd love for you to grab a copy if you don't get one, so you can always sign up for it. We've also stepped up our pre-construction meetings. I know this is a requirement for the stormwater permit, but we've upped it one more level and really use it as an opportunity to engage our development community here in Hamilton County. Also want to kind of highlight our streams program with the Cooper Creek Collaborative. I know Adam kind of covered a little bit of that during his presentation. So this is a 1 mile demonstration watershed, and we are throwing everything at it. And we've got some great partners with the Ohio Department of Agriculture. We've got the Ohio EPA. We've got the National EPA. We just landed a grant with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We also just got news that we're going to get a grant from Duke Energy as well. So really exciting. And what we're doing with all of these partners, with our local partners like OKI, Mill Creek Alliance, Ohio River Foundations, too many to mention, we are jumping on board and putting everything that we've got at this 1 mile of stream and seeing what would it take to restore 1 mile of urban streams. And it is just a beautiful project. We've been highlighted by many scientific papers around the country. In fact, the project was highlighted in the US EPA Science Matters newsletter as well. So we are so pleased with all the work that we've done in that area. We've also taken on a live staking project, which Adam talked about, which basically helps with stream bank stabilization. We've also partnered with Franklin County once again, and with all of the soil and water conservation districts in the state, especially the ones that are in an urbanized area, and are working on the Ohio Stormwater Awareness Week. And as Jan referred to it in the beginning of the presentation, this week is actually Ohio Stormwater Awareness Week here in Hamilton County, and it was recognized via a proclamation by the Hamilton County Commissioners. In administration, we have worked on developing our very robust long-range plan, and we engaged our community, and we've developed what I believe one of the best long-range plans out there. It's really detailed. It really gives a strong pathway for us to move forward in the next 5 years. Components include rebranding, components include seeking out technology, components also include urban and sustainable agriculture. So excited to implement this new long-range plan as well. With that said, I'm going to end my presentation. But as I'm ending my presentation, I just want to highlight this picture to you. I was named the director here at the beginning of March, and a week later, the entire economy shut down. And it was, as a new director, I was in absolute panic. But my ABLE team, who is highlighted here, this was our first Zoom meeting that we had, really pulled together. And even in time of pandemic, we put conservation first, because pandemic or not, conservation is always essential. And we've kept going on with conservation. And I hope you recognize that in your own personal lives. You know, given the pandemic, it's easy to put conservation on the back burner because we're focused on so many other things. But now is the time to remember the environment and conservation and sustainability like never before. Thank you, everyone. And at this time, we will have a word from our board chairs, from all of the chairs, and we're going to have a talk from our board chair from Cuyahoga, Franklin, and Hamilton County in that order.
I'd like to take a moment to welcome everyone to the first ever Multi-Soil Water Conservation District annual meeting. I'm delighted to be here with the staff and fellow chair members of the 3 most urban SWCDs in Ohio. I am Sherry Lippis, Chair of the Cuyahoga SWCD. Elected to the board in 2017, I have a diverse background in education, government, and information technology. I am currently employed as an IT security specialist. At this time, I would like to introduce my fellow board supervisors. Chair Ruth Scully was elected to the board in 2000 and has served as the Area 2 Director from 2004 through 2019. Ruth is retired from the Cleveland Municipal School District, where she taught biology and environmental science
before becoming an administrator. She also owns and manages a tree farm in Coshocton County. Treasurer Howard Mayer is serving his second term and was appointed in 2019 to finish the remaining term of a board member who had resigned. Howard worked from 1998 through 2012 for the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency, NOACA, and retired in 2012 as their executive director. Howard has also served as adjunct faculty member at Cleveland State and Case Western Reserve. Secretary Caroline Kelman was elected to the board in 2018 and is a water resource engineer who studies water quality and quantity issues around urban streams. Caroline has worked on sustainable agricultural projects in 5 countries and spent 6 months on the Appalachian Trail. Fiscal agent Dre Luton is the newest member, serving his first term, and brings to our board his experience of nonprofit work and community development.
In January, our board approved a new strategic plan. When the pandemic hit, the staff did not miss a beat. Programs and workshops went virtual, and summer events demonstrated that conservation can happen even as we socially distance. One of the goals outlined in the strategic plan is to provide at least 75 grants for scholarships by our 75th anniversary in 2024. This year, the staff established the Individual Acts of Conservation Initiative to inspire people to get outdoors. The board plans to build on that initiative by raising scholarship money for the Individual Acts of Conservation Fund to help implement conservation projects targeted to improve water quality for the benefits of wildlife, recreation, and drinking water. Our goal is to offer mini-grants and scholarships to support conservation efforts throughout Cuyahoga County.
We are grateful to our current donors and encourage all conservation enthusiasts to donate to our conservation fund either through our Cuyahoga SWCD website or by mailing in a check to our Perkins Ave address. All donations are tax deductible and will be acknowledged with a letter.
Today and throughout the end of October, conservation enthusiasts can also help Cuyahoga win the fundraising challenge that we have with Franklin and Hamilton SWCDs. Go to our website and choose where you would like to see your conservation dollars spent. Help Cuyahoga SWCD win the 3C Challenge. We thank you for participating in our annual meeting, and we hope you enjoy the event.
Hello, my name's Chris Weibel, Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District Board Chair. I've had the pleasure of being on the board for 7 years. I was first introduced to the district through my participation on the Ohio Lake Erie Phosphorus Task Force 1 and 2. I was impressed with the district's ability to accomplish conservation programming and their ability to get boots on the ground, their ability to engage the community in their conservation programming, and importantly, engaging local business leaders in helping the district achieve their goals. I'm very proud of the work the district has accomplished in Franklin County with its neighboring conservation districts and with the Ohio Federation serving all 88 of Ohio's counties. We're still doing all we can to support and promote responsible land use decisions that help protect, conserve, and improve our soil and water resources right here in Franklin County. Whether it's through online classes, information sharing through social media, or virtual programming, we're able to achieve our conservation mission. In fact, our backyard conservation program and conservation rebate programs, participation is at an all-time high. The pandemic is keeping people local in their backyards, in their neighborhoods, local and state parks and green spaces. And this is driving awareness of their natural resources and natural surroundings. We're learning a lot, and we hope to put this in effect and maintain this level of engagement as we move forward. To support our mission of getting conservation programming on the ground, we recently opened a stewardship fund with the Columbus Foundation in hopes of raising money to support implementation of conservation programs targeted to improving water quality, enhancing wildlife, recreation, and drinking water. While our focus is on water quality and rainwater runoff, these programs also benefit forestry, pollinators, native plants, carbon offsets, and wild bird populations throughout Central Ohio. We're asking all of you to please help us succeed in our goals by donating to the Stewardship Fund. Every dollar you donate goes directly to the implementation of conservation programs right here in Franklin County. Help us implement conservation programs that work in harmony with our growing urban population and protect our natural resources for generations to come. Help us to build a living legacy. Please visit our website and search Conservation Stewardship for details on how to donate. I hope you enjoy your evening. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Hello, my name is John Mangan, and I'm the board chair for Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District. This year we celebrate our 75th anniversary of the founding of our Soil and Water Conservation District here in Hamilton County. Just as we are beginning now to face the challenges of global warming and climate change, more than 75 years ago, the U.S. woke up to the horrors of the Dust Bowl and realized that the seemingly unlimited natural resources that we had in our country were finite, and they need to be conserved. And this, of course, ended up in resulting in the birth of soil and water conservation movements across the country. And as you all know now, all Ohio's 88 counties have a soil and water conservation district. Now, our predecessors in the early days, of course, concentrated on agriculture issues. That's where the problems were, and that's where their attention was drawn. But now, with changing demographics and changing times, of course, we now focus on urban conservation, urban pollution issues, such issues as stormwater management and water quality improvement. As John Nelson reported earlier, we provide value by a number of different things. We promote the conservation messages across various media channels. We provide educational opportunities, not only for children in classrooms, but for adults. We help landowners with compliance issues related to soil and soil erosion and geotechnical issues. And we help promote and maintain the integrity of our waterways. It's interesting, here in Hamilton County, we've been very lucky to have 5 waterways rolling through our hilly terrain. It's a threatened resource that's worth conserving. We take great pride in delivering this value to our community, but we recognize that we don't do it by ourselves. We do it with the help of our funders, the Hamilton County Commissioners, the Stormwater District, and the state of Ohio. We collaborate with so many other Hamilton County organizations that I don't want to belabor you with reading a list, but we thank all of them. Now, you can't have a joint meeting of Ohio's 3 largest counties without a little bit of competition. So here's the competition. Each county has a special project, special program that they would like to promote. Our program is a teacher grant program. We every year give this grant to a teacher to help them with supplies, materials, and field trips. So, if you want to support us in our effort, go to our website and donate money not only to help a teacher in Hamilton County, but also to help us beat these other 2 counties. 75 years ago, the Dust Bowl and other natural resource catastrophes led to conservation remedies that we enjoy today. Here in Hamilton County, we take responsibility for providing the conservation remedies that will help future generations. The board and I continue to wonder how we got so lucky to have such a dedicated, skilled, and experienced staff. And we thank them for their commitment to conservation and their commitment to the citizens of Hamilton County.
All right, everyone, we are back here. So I hope you enjoyed the videos from the board chairs. And at this time, we just have a few minor announcements, and then we'll tell you more about the meet and greet if that's something that you would like to do this evening. So let me share my screen here real quick, and I will go over those housekeeping elements. All right, there we go. So just wanted to make a few announcements regarding the elections. I know some of you are pretty eager to know, and some of us have already had the election results for a little bit of time. But Cuyahoga finished their results just today. So give them till October 26th, which is Monday, for the results. Franklin County, we already have the results, and I've brought up the candidates on the screen here. So we congratulate Abigail and Karen from Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District. We also would like to congratulate Scott P. Huber as well as Laura Boyd from Hamilton County Soil and Water Conservation District. So thank you so much. And last but not the least, I have a few thank yous here, and then we'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea on what we're going to do with the meet and greet. But before I go ahead, now some of you probably are questioning what is the deal with the donation and what is the contest with regards to the donation for the various causes. So Janine, Jennifer, and John, that's me, all J's with the 3 C's, have decided that we'll have a friendly competition. So the district that raises the most amount of donations through the annual meeting process will get ice cream from the other 2 Soil and Water Conservation District. Now, of course, all of us know we all have our regional favorites. Here in Hamilton County, we think Graeter's ice cream is probably the best. And so if one of the other counties raises the most amount of money, then as the director, I would purchase ice cream for the director in Franklin, Cuyahoga, as well as the staff for whichever district ended up winning or raising the most amount of funds. So if you don't want me to buy ice cream, please help us out and donate. But if you don't want your director to buy ice cream either, help them out and donate for them. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your support for conservation today. But quick thank yous here all around. I think we want to definitely thank our Board of Supervisors. We really appreciate all of our Board of Supervisors from all 3 counties. We appreciate your support and your involvement in our programs. We want to thank the staff. We want to thank Kristen, Gwen, Amy, Kyle, and Sarah. They have been instrumental in planning all these events, and their videos are popping up if you want to wave hi to them right about now. I think Kyle's the only one that we're missing. But a true shout out to Sarah, who's our Zoom jockey. She knows everything about Zoom, and she did such a fantastic job in running today's meeting seamlessly. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to the rest of you who did all of the planning. I also want to thank my fellow directors, Jen and Jan. As I say, you have to have a name starting with J to be a director in an urban county. And then, of course, I want to thank Bob Short, the president of the Federation, and the Federation in general for all their support for the conservation districts in the state of Ohio. Also want to kind of recognize our various program specialists, Tom Holmes from Cuyahoga, Area 2, I believe, and then Cody Hacker and Liz Klein, of course, from Hamilton County. Cody, of course, is the program specialist for Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District. They are such big supports for us and great liaisons from the state, so we really appreciate their time and effort, and of course their support to run the elections as well. Thank you so much, all of you. Also want to thank today our ODA Chief, Kirk Hines, as well as Assistant Chief Rob Hamilton. I can't thank Rob enough. Rob, when we first pitched the idea to him of a 3 Cs conservation presentation or a annual meeting, he loved it, and he kind of highlighted it in various staff settings as well. So thank you, Rob, for your ongoing support of us here in urban counties. Of course, want to thank all the county administrators in all 3 counties, stormwater districts for those who may apply, and of course, our county commissioners. Thank you all. But most importantly, we want to thank you all for joining today. You are the reason why we're here. We're here to serve. We love serving, and that's why we're here, and we love sharing the work that we've been doing here in our respective regions to you all. I'm going to open up the floor real quick to Jen and Jan for some parting comments if they would like to, and then I'll quickly talk about the meet and greet.
Thanks everybody for coming. It was a pleasure to work with both John and Jan on this, and I couldn't have done it without Kristen's support. I was off for some of the planning for this, so thanks everybody.
I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone as well. It was a lot of fun, and to get the 3 most urban conservation districts together was amazing. My husband had an opportunity to watch, and he thought it was amazing as well. Thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you, Jen and Jan, and thank you all again for joining. Our next item on the agenda is our meet and greet. So we're actually going to use Zoom for meet and greet. I know you might have received an email earlier that we're probably using Facebook. We've actually changed our plans. So I want to highlight 2 links in the comment box. One, of course, is the link that has the donation pages to all the 3 causes. So if that's something that you want to do at a later point in time, just bookmark that page for yourself so that you know where to go when you want to donate. And it would be awesome if you could donate to all 3 districts, right? That would be pretty democratic, right? That's great. But we would love to take whatever you give us for the cause of conservation. Lastly, the meet and greet is going to be on Zoom meetings, and we'll have different breakout rooms. We're going to have a watershed room. We're going to have a construction site management room. We're going to have a board members room. We're going to have a education room, right, Gwen? You will be, when you join first, you'll be joining a main area, and it'll be crowded, it'll be noisy. It'll be just like being in a crowded room with a lot of people. So hang in there, and I'll join the room, and then I'll open up the breakout rooms. And once we open up the breakout rooms, then you can join a respective breakout room, and then the crowd in the main room will die out. And then if you want to hang around in the main room, then you're welcome to hang around in the main room as well. Now, if you click the link now, right away, it's going to kick you off this meeting and put you in a waiting room for that meeting. So just be aware of that. But give us about 5 minutes and we'll meet you on the other side in our Zoom meet and greet. But lots of love. Thank you all. Those of you who are going to drop off right now. Just want to kind of remind you again, the election's coming up. If you haven't already early voted, please vote. Your vote counts. Thank you, everyone. Take care.